Uphill battle that many restaurants are facing right now, and how many are still stepping up to help others. We're joined now by celebrity chef and restaurant advocate Tom Colicchio. Tom, thanks for coming back on. First, what did you think watching that piece?
Not surprising at all. Chefs and restaurateurs by nature are generous. They've always been anchors of their community. And so this story is not surprising. I've heard similar stories to this. And so many chefs and so many restaurants right now working with Jose Andres' group, World Central Kitchen, is providing those meals as well. Slightly different story, but not surprising, not surprised at all.
Now, you're part of the Independent Restaurants Coalition, which is fighting to save small local restaurants affected by the pandemic. How big of a threat is the pandemic to these kinds of restaurants?
We're looking at an extinction event right now. Estimates are between 65 to 80% of all independent restaurants, and those are restaurants that are not publicly traded, have fewer than 20 locations, will close without help from the government. And this is why it's so important to pass the Restaurants Act. You know, we were in the House stimulus package. I know there's negotiations ongoing right now, and it's so important. And the reason why it's so important is because I was listening to the earlier package, and we're so close to getting a vaccine, and we're so close to getting to the point sometime late spring, early summer, where enough people will be vaccinated. Jobs are going to come back, but if those restaurants are closed, there will be no place for those displaced workers to actually come and work. And so it's so important right now that the Restaurant Acts pass and that restaurants can remain open. So number one, we can be there for our communities, and we can be there to hire everybody back.
And I know that you yourself have had to lay off some people from your own restaurant and hospitality group, Crafted Hospitality. So I know this is personal to you. We know how vulnerable restaurant workers are right now, but this seems to paint a broader picture when you talk about the extinction of the small local restaurant. I mean, that affects everyone.
You're right. It affects not only the people who we employ, but indirectly the fishermen, the farmers, the cheesemakers, winemakers. Plus, let's drill down a little further. Plumbers, electricians, the people who provide linen, exterminators, all these businesses that we need, those businesses to run our business. And so with restaurants closing down, all those other businesses and jobs will also be at jeopardy. And
even just the flavor of our neighborhoods, if you live in a place that has a lot of small restaurants, as you walk down the street, it'll look completely different without that.
Yeah, I agree. That's what makes our city so special, because you can walk down the street and you can have Thai, or you can have Indian or Pakistani food or Afghanistan food, along with Italian and French and American and all those other things. And that's what makes our city so inhabitable and such fun, active communities to live in. And so we need these restaurants to be there, because when we get through this pandemic, we're going to want to feel normal again. And feeling normal means going to that restaurant where they know your name, like the song. And you want to go there to celebrate and get through this and feel normal again, which is another reason why it's so important to pass the Restaurants Act and to make sure that we can get through this.
So you mentioned the Restaurants Act. You know, you've spoken before about how you thought PPP loans and enhanced unemployment benefits weren't really enough for the restaurant industry specifically. So why the Restaurants Act? What does that do?
Right. Well, PPP is really inflexible. You can use it for payroll. You can use it for rent and utilities. That's it. But so many of us, what we're doing is running up our bills. We have back bills going back to March, April, because we were forced, in some cases, to close our restaurants. And so we had zero income for months. And then once we reopened, even though it looks kind of busy where there's people out in the street and outdoor dining, most of the restaurant inside is empty. And so we're struggling. We're struggling just to pay bills. And so we need something much more flexible. The Restaurants Act is essentially income replacement, and we can use it for a multitude of expenses. So you know, we need this to be specific to our industry. There's a lot of great small businesses out there that need help as well, and they'll be included in a package. But we think we deserve something specific to our industry, because we're in most cases forced to close our restaurants, and we're doing it, and we're not happy about it, but we're doing it because we know that that's the best way to stop the spread, get our arms around this disease, to get through it, and have the economy reopen again and get us back to work.
Certainly so many with their fingers crossed right now, hoping that can all happen, and hoping that the restaurant industry and so many others right now in need get the help that they do need. Tom Colicchio, it's always great to have you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.